Welcome to the host with the most, Toddcast. And now, direct from the Razzle Dazzle Studios, here's the tan, tattooed connoisseur of conversation, Todd Newton.
You know, I have always wanted to get into the Guinness Book of World Records, and I've never found an in. I will say this, I was really swinging for the fences a couple of years ago. I thought that maybe I could get in as the television host with the most tattoos. You know, TV host with the most tattoos.
I would think you had a good shot with that.
Well, I'll tell you what we did. So I had, we wrote a nice form letter, submission letter, if you will. I had a buddy of mine take a ton of photos. I'm standing there in my underwear, took photos from the back, from the side, and he counted every tattoo, sent it in. And Guinness responded, and they thanked me for the submission, but they said this is not a category that they could create. They don't want new categories, essentially. They want...
Oh, you have to go along with something they already got.
Yeah. So I didn't get in. But this guy named Jeff Reitz, I saw him on TMZ Live last week, late last week, Thursday or Friday, and he got into the Guinness Book of World Records for the most consecutive theme park visits. So the number of days he went to the same theme park in a row. You believe this? This is a middle-aged man, by the way. And
I'm sorry, they wouldn't take the new category of TV host with the most tattoos, but we'll go with the middle-aged guy that goes to the same theme park every day.
Yeah, first of all, if you're a middle-aged man going to theme parks alone, you need to be watched. You need to be tailed because that's strange. But he did it. He documented it on social media, and he never went twice in the same day. And the theme park he chose was Disneyland. You know how much money he must have spent going to Disneyland? 2,995 days in a row.
God, thank God they got that second day pass.
He's the reason why they jack up the season pass prices, because he's throwing off the curve here. But again, his name is Jeff Reitz, and 8 years, a little over 8 years, he spent trying to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. Obviously, he's gone viral on social media because he's been documenting everything. He's 50 years old, lives in Anaheim, California, and he started this back in 2012. So that's a total of 8 years, 3 months, and 13 days. And he said it started as a joke about 10 years ago. And then Disneyland announced that it was going to be holding a 24-hour event on Leap Day in 2012. And he did the math. He figured out if he went on Leap Day, that would count as a couple of extra days, which would allow him to spend 366 days during 1 year as opposed to 365. So, look. If
Too much time on your hands.
Yeah, if you're doing this, man, good for you. You deserve to go into the Guinness Book of World Records. And Disneyland has made him an honorary citizen of the park. They gave him a gift basket. Hey, thanks, Disney. Thank you for the gift basket.
All the mouse ears I could ever wear.
Yeah. And he says some of the Disney employees, they always want their picture with him when he shows up. But he made it, so I don't know where you go from here, man. It seems like that's pretty much going to be the highlight of your life.
He's Disney famous. Maybe he'll meet Patrick Mahomes.
There you go. Yeah, and then Mahomes wins a couple of Super Bowls and gets to go whenever he wants. This guy's got to pay to go 3,000 times. Must be nice to have that kind of extra cash, man. I'm telling you.
Let's get back to the talk that will keep you talking. This is the host with the most, Toddcast with Todd Newton.
This was really interesting. This email you sent me with a link about vinyl records making a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. Did you read some of these numbers?
It's kind of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I didn't realize they even vinyl versions of some of those records.
Right. 43.5 million LPs were sold in 2022. And that is more than 48 times the number that was sold in 2006, just kind of going back a few years to put it in perspective, and I guess it's more of a collector's item thing, right? If you have I don't know too many people that have record players.
Some people probably still have turntables, but I would imagine they're not playing those vinyl. I know the few vinyl copies of albums I have, I'm not playing them. I hang them on the wall.
Yeah, that's true. That's cool. We looked at the top 10 selling physical record sales of all time. The artists that have sold the most physical records, like the old 33s, like Maria said, that you either hang on the wall as decoration or that you play on your turntable. And number 10, did you read this list or is this going to be a surprise to you?
No, it'll be a surprise to me. I just skimmed the top and gave it to you.
Oh, good. Okay. So this will be interesting then. Number 10 on artists who have sold the most physical records, albums. Billy Joel in at number 10. And number 9, this one will surprise you. Janet, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, is number 9. Wow.
Are people buying new albums of hers or just like people that are fans from back in the day?
I don't know, but obviously Rhythm Nation was her biggest one, and that puts her in the top 10. Good Lord.
Wow.
Number 8, I thought
That's some staying power.
Yeah. I thought this artist would have been much higher, like top 5 for sure. But coming in at number 8, Prince. And
really?
Yeah. And the reason
he was so prolific.
Dig this. The reason he's in the top 10, obviously, is because Purple Rain, the album, I had it. Was that? And that album cover, that photo, picture of him on the motorcycle, man, and you open it up. And if I recall correctly, the actual album was purple. I think it was purple, which made it really, really cool. But Purple Rain spent 6 months at number 1. The album. 6 months. Whew. Number 7 is Cher, the goddess of pop herself. Cher sold more albums than Prince. Woo.
Who would have thunk?
Not me. Number 6 is Whitney. I can see her being in the top 10. Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Number 5, Stevie Wonder. And I Just Called to Say I Love You was his biggest seller. Crazy, man. I mean, some of these names deserve to be there. Others, they all deserve it, but others are surprising,
Yeah, there are some head scratchers.
Madonna is number 4. Vogue. That was huge. Come on. Yeah. Michael Jackson is number 3.
Well, if Madonna's there, Michael Jackson's got to be there. Those two built MTV.
Well, you got a point with that. Yeah. And the top 2 will be no surprise. Frank Sinatra came in at number 2 with over 95 million albums sold. And
he was the chairman of the board.
And Elvis the King at number 1 with 135 million. And his top seller was that song, It's Now or Never. It's now or never. No Suspicious Minds. So there you go. Vinyl's making a comeback. If you are a vinyl enthusiast, hit us up on the Facebook page. Love to know what you love about it. Is it the sound? Is it the collectability? Let us know.
Thank you for keeping the art of conversation alive. For more Todd, visit toddnewtononline.com. And don't forget to rate and review the show today. The Host with the Most Toddcast is produced by the Host with the Most, LLC. All rights reserved.